Welcome to Your California Life. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino. Tuesday is here and the countdown to the holidays is on. But before enjoying chestnuts roasting on an open fire, let's make sure the house is in tip-top shape. Winter weather is on the way, and to stay ahead of any costly problems or issues, homeowners should consider a few important steps to ensure their roof and gutters can handle the elements. Joining us with more info on prepping your home for winter weather is home expert Jack Borba of Straight Line Construction. Thanks for joining us this morning, Jack. It certainly has gotten a little bit cooler. Those temperatures are dropping now, and overnight it does get very chilly. As for contractors, are you guys already hard at work getting residences prepared for all of the elements that winter weather can bring?
For sure. We've actually gotten fairly lucky when it comes to protecting some of our customers' homes. We haven't had much rain yet this year, so people have got this bonus time, and we've sure been working hard to get people watertight for this coming winter.
Yeah, that's a good idea because no one wants to get rained on, especially inside of their own home. When we talk about roofers, are you already getting booked out? You mentioned they had a little bonus time because we haven't seen too much rain yet. But, you know, how do those homeowners, how can they really get ahead of any issues?
Definitely call now is the key. So we did get lucky. So they got some extra time, and we've been able to get more roofing done than we ordinarily would be because we just haven't had many times where we can't work because of weather. There's been other challenges with COVID and so on, but overall, we've been able to get a lot more done this year and this season with the lack of rain.
Well, that's good to hear. What about for people who have tile roofs? They may think, hey, I've got a tile roof. I don't have anything to worry about. Is that true?
That couldn't be further from the truth. So tile roofs are extremely maintenance prone. So we spend all winter, us and along with other roofing contractors, doing repairs on tile roofs that people think they'll never have to do repairs on because it's concrete. What can go wrong? But unfortunately, underneath that concrete is normally a pretty inferior roof system, and concrete is porous. It sucks up water like a sponge, so water gets all underneath those tile roofs. Plus, they're really prone to debris getting built up and causing damming that can create some really serious leaks and dry rot. We find a lot of dry rot on tile roofs.
If you have a tile roof, are there any things that you need to look out for that maybe indicate there is a problem?
For sure. Homeowners can be proactive by just shining a flashlight along in their attic. But we find a lot of the damage is actually right around the perimeter of the house. If you just walk and you look behind the gutters, that is where we normally find a lot of dry rot, either behind the gutters or on the edges of the roof, kind of where you would where you'd hang all your Christmas lights, to be honest with you, is where we normally see a lot of either staining or dry rot or rotten rafter tails. That's normally a pretty indicative problem area to look for.
Okay, that is good to know. And you mentioned the gutters. There's a lot of leaves. We see those as you drive around. Leaves are just on the ground, falling everywhere from the trees this time of year. What do people need to be thinking about when it comes to their gutter systems and guards?
Same thing, we've mostly dropped all the leaves now, and so the gutters are fairly full, and you'd be surprised how many people call us up and say, hey, my gutters are leaking or having a problem, and it's just because they haven't been maintained. They need to have the leaves cleaned out, and that prevents a lot of problems, whether that be dry rot or interior leaks. Gutters are pretty important to make sure you maintain that system.
And when you
kind of be like driving around with a flat tire.
Right, and we don't want that. When it comes to the gutters, is it something that homeowners can do themselves, clean them out, or when do you need to call a professional?
I'd be extremely cautious. One of my close friends, he's an accountant. He was a marathon runner, a 100-mile bike rider, and he tried cleaning his gutters, or had been cleaning his gutters for years, but unfortunately slipped off and really injured himself bad.
Oh, no.
So if you're not used to doing it, I wouldn't recommend it. Gutter cleaning companies are fairly cheap. If we do your roof or do any maintenance, we'll clean them for you, included in the price. So it's normally not worth the risk. I've seen a lot of people get seriously hurt Even myself, I don't get up on the roof and physically do the work all that often, but every once in a while, a few times a year, I do. And I was just on the roof yesterday, and I've been roofing since I was a kid, but it's still just not the same as somebody that does it every day. You take a lot more risks.
Good to know. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Jack, and telling us how to get our homes ready for the winter. For more information or a free estimate, you can visit straightlineconstruction.com. And stay with us. There's much more to come. YCL.